At security, they made you pour out your water. You watched it go down the drain. A perfectly good bottle. Gone. Because of a rule. Then you walked 50 meters, and there it was. The same water. On a shelf. For 3 times the price. You were annoyed. You should have been impressed. Because that wasn't bad luck, and it wasn't really about safety. That was the opening move in a game. One that started the second you took off your shoes. Here's what almost nobody realizes as they shuffle through that terminal. An airport is not a building that helps you catch a flight. Not anymore. It is a shopping center that happens to have runways attached, and you are not a passenger walking through it. You are the product being moved past the shelves. Let's walk through it together, from the drained water bottle to the gate, and watch the whole machine work. Start with a number that reframes the entire building. You assume an airport makes its money from airlines, landing fees, gate fees, the price of a runway slot, and it does make money that way. But for many of the world's big airports, that is not where the real profit is. A huge share of an airport's income, often more than 40%, comes from something the industry calls non-aeronautical revenue, which is a very boring phrase for a very specific thing. The shops, the food, the parking, the perfume, the money you spend once you're inside. Read that again. For a lot of airports, the planes are almost a side business. The main business is you, with an hour to kill and a credit card in your pocket. And once you understand that, everything strange about an airport suddenly makes sense. Because the whole layout is built around one moment. The industry even has a name for it. They call it the golden hour. It's the time between the instant you clear security and the instant you board. Think about what you are in that window. You can't leave. You're locked airside. You can't shop around. There's no other store. You have nowhere to be yet. And a low, buzzing anxiety about missing your flight that makes you want to just stay close and wait. There is a word for a customer like that. Captive. You are, for that hour, the most trapped shopper on earth. More trapped than in any mall, any supermarket, even a casino. Because you physically cannot walk out, and every single thing past that security line is designed to turn your captivity into spending. Starting with the fact that they don't even let you walk in a straight line. Notice what happens the moment you come out of security. In a huge number of airports, you don't step into a hallway to your gate. You step directly into a shop. Usually, the duty-free, bright, gleaming, enormous. And here's the part people never quite register. There is often no way around it. The path to your gate goes through the store, not past it, through it. The perfume, the liquor, the sunglasses, laid out as a maze you are forced to physically walk inside, weaving between the shelves, before you're allowed back out the other side toward your plane. Think about how deliberate that is. They could have built a corridor. They chose to build a shop with your gate on the far wall of it. You didn't decide to go shopping. The building decided for you, and simply removed the option of not. That's not an accident of architecture. It's the architecture as the cell. And then there's the word on all of it, duty-free. It sounds like a gift, tax-free, a special deal you only get here, a little reward for the hassle of flying. So you assume the prices must be lower. Why else would they make such a fuss about the tax? But no tax does not mean cheap. Study after study, and plenty of travelers with a phone and a price comparison app have found the same thing. A lot of duty-free items aren't actually cheaper than the same product on the high street or online. Sometimes they're more expensive. The tax you saved gets quietly absorbed, and you pay it anyway, just to the shop instead of the government. The phrase isn't describing a discount, it's describing a feeling. Duty-free is there to switch off the part of your brain that checks prices. Right at the moment you're standing in a shop, you were forced to walk through. And that switch, the one that turns off your judgment, the whole airport is working to flip it. Because there's a mood they need you in, and the building is engineered to put you there. Think about who you are at an airport. You're not at work, you've done the hard part. The packing, the traffic, the security line. Some part of you has already decided the trip has begun. You're in what people quietly call holiday mode, even on a business trip. A little unmoored, a little generous, ready to treat yourself, because, well, you're traveling. That mindset is worth a fortune, and the airport protects it carefully. The lighting is warm and flattering. The stores feel more like a city center than a bus station. Everything says this is a treat, you've earned it. A person who feels like they're already on holiday does not count their money the way a person doing their weekly shop does. And the airport knows exactly which of those two people you are the moment you walk in. so it keeps you in that mood as long as it possibly can. Which brings us to the clock. Here's a small thing you've felt 100 times and never questioned. Why don't they tell you your gate? You're standing under a giant departures board. Your flight is up there. Boards everywhere. Screens everywhere. But next to your flight, where the gate number should be, it just says wait. Please wait. Gate opens 1340. And the gate is a 15-minute walk away, so you can't even go and sit near it yet. This is not because they don't know where your plane is. They've known for hours. The gate is held back on purpose. Because if they told you the gate the second you cleared security, you'd walk straight there and sit down. And a person sitting at a gate spends nothing. So instead, they keep you standing in the retail hall, gate unknown, killing time, the exact time they named golden, surrounded by everything they'd like you to buy, until the last safe minute. They are not hiding the gate from you. They are keeping you in the shop. And even the walk to that gate is working on you. When they finally release the number, notice how far away it is. You'd think, in a building this expensive, they'd put the gates close. They don't. The gates are pushed out to the edges, and the route to them is long, and it runs, deliberately, past more shops, more food, more last chances to spend on the way. Even the seating plays along. Look for a quiet, comfortable place to just sit and wait near your gate, and you'll often struggle. Look for a seat inside a cafe or a bar, and there are plenty. You just have to buy something to earn one. The comfortable option almost always has a price tag attached. None of this is hostility. It's arithmetic. Every extra minute you're on your feet, moving through retail instead of resting at your gate, is a minute measured, valued, and worth money to somebody. You think you're waiting for a plane. You're being walked through a store the long way round. So here's the twist, and it turns the whole building inside out. You've been thinking of the shops as a convenience, something the airport added on top of its real job, moving planes, to be nice, to fill the time, a pleasant extra. It's the other way around. For a modern airport, the retail isn't the extra. In many cases, it's the point. The flights are what get you in the door. The bait that guarantees a captive, time-pressured, holiday-minded crowd, delivered daily, by the millions, with no way to leave. The planes bring the shoppers. The shoppers are the business. Read that again. You are not a traveler the airport is serving. You are the cargo it is really moving, from the security gate, past the shelves, to the plane. The route between those 2 points is the product, and it was designed, meter by meter, to extract as much from you as possible on the way through. The departures board isn't lying to you. It's just not really about departures. And that reframe is unsettling for a reason. Because of everywhere they could trap a shopper, this is the strongest trap there is. Think about what a supermarket has to work with. You can leave any time. You can drive to a competitor. You can check a price online while you stand in the aisle. An airport has none of those limits. Once you're airside, you cannot leave. There is no competitor to drive to. There's no time to comparison shop when you're watching a board that might any minute tell you to run. You are bored, you are anxious, you are in holiday mode, and you are locked in a room with the shops for an hour they got to name. There is no more controlled retail environment on the planet. Not the mall, not the casino. The airport beats them all, because the airport is the only one that legally can't let you out. So sit with what that means the next time you're standing in that terminal. That drained water bottle wasn't an inconvenience. It was the opening line. The forced walk through duty-free wasn't the shape of the building. It was the strategy of it. The held-back gate, the distant seat, the warm, flattering light telling you you've earned a treat. None of it is there to help you fly. It's there to work the hour between the metal detector and the jet bridge, the hour they quietly turn to gold. You are not being served by that building. You are being processed by it. And the only thing it can't design around is a passenger who knows exactly what the room is for. So here's what you do, and it costs nothing. Bring an empty bottle through security and fill it at a fountain on the other side. The water they poured out is free again the moment you know where to look. Find your gate on the board, and if it's a long walk, spend the wait there, not in the retail hall. Treat duty-free as a word, not a discount. Check the real price on your phone before you believe it's a deal. And notice the holiday mood the second it switches on, because that mood is the thing they're actually selling. None of that stops you enjoying the trip. It just means the building stops quietly enjoying you. At security, they made you pour out your water. Next time, You'll walk past that overpriced shelf without slowing down, because there's a free fountain just ahead, and you brought your own bottle. They built a shopping center and told you it was an airport. Now you can see the shop. So just walk through it, to your gate.